Hello, Facebook. Let's just see if you can see me good, if you could hear me good. It is Monday of the March break, so maybe you're not around because you're busy. Just gonna wait a few minutes to see who's on. Let's see who is joining us tonight. Monday. We are going to do a Facebook Live all about how to master your mindset. I was talking to one of my really good friends just yesterday all about mindset. Hey, Carol! Can you see me and hear me good? Is the internet good? Am I frozen? Thumbs up if you hear me, see me. Anybody did a job? Yay! Oh, hearts, yes. Give me the hearts. I love them hearts. Awesome. So we are going to do master your mindset. I want to try to plan these on Monday nights because I think mindset is a game changer for everybody. How to master your mindset? Awesome. It is practice. Hey, Heather, I'm coming to your house after you with your chocolates. I'm going to do this video really quick because I got to jump off some chocolates to some wonderful ladies. So yeah, master your mindset. So if you're coming in live, type live, tell me where you're watching from. If you watch this on the replay, type replay. I'll come give you a shout out as well. If you share this broadcast, type share, and I'm going to give you some extra loving too because you're awesome. So, master your mindset. Why do I think it's important? Okay, mindset is such a big deal, right? And a lot of people are using it now. They're like, mindset this, mindset that. What is even a mindset, right? That is just the way we choose to show up. Oh, you can't share it? Okay, well, I'll fix it. But thank you. Maybe it's because I'm not on my Feed That Glow page. But that's all right. Not a big deal. So mindset to me is how you choose to show up no matter what life throws at you. And the more we have challenges, I like to now view them as opportunities for growth. Sure, they're not always fun, but the reason I wanted to do this video tonight is all about how I had a friend asking me yesterday, Crystal, are you always positive? Why are you always so positive? Listen, I'm going to tell you straight up, I am not always positive. I choose to fight the battles I want to fight, and I choose to work on the thoughts that I am in control of, right? Because that's the only thing really that I'm in control of. But I wanted to just talk about that because positivity is huge. But just because I don't forget, social media, we always post our best curated stuff. So we're always posting the nice glam shots, like my nice backdrop that's gold, the angles, filters, smoke and mirrors, all these things, which is good because we want to uplift people. But don't think that we don't have struggles as well. Everybody does. So yes, I feel the feels and I allow myself to feel the feels, but I just work through them quicker than I used to. And by used to, I mean I've been doing this mindset work for the past 2 years now. And I see all my opportunities, all my challenges as opportunities to how to level up, how to pivot, what can I choose different, right? So tonight is all about that. So basically, minds. Our minds our thoughts are 80% negative. So my friend was saying, I don't understand. I'm so negative. We're both Virgos. Why am I so negative? And I said, listen, girl, I got your back. I'm just like you, okay? 80% of our thoughts are negative. They just are. Why? Because our brains aren't made to make us happy. They are there to keep us alive. So anything that is going wrong in life, like anything negative, will always present itself. It's always available to us. If we choose to see just the crap stuff in life, we will find it. Just like if we choose to see the good stuff in life, we will find that too. So I'm a big believer in faithful in the little things, meaning what is the one thing that you could choose to focus on and be grateful for? And sometimes it's just breathing. I mean, last year I could tell you straight up, I don't know how, I'm loving all these hearts. I can tell you straight up, I don't know how many days where I just didn't want to get out of bed. It was hard, okay? Really, really hard. Get out of bed. Do the next best thing. And I've done videos about this before, so if you're new to my page, because I do have a lot of new people coming and hanging out with us, I mean, feel free to go through those videos. Check out my YouTube. Like, I talk about that. What is the next thing that I can do right now? What is the next step? And a lot of times it was yelling at myself to get out of bed. And then I was yelling at myself to put like mascara on, because to me, if I looked put together on the outside, I could try to feel put together on the inside. Not that it was fake, I just had to choose different. So 80% of our thoughts are negative. 95% of those thoughts are reoccurring, meaning if we focus on just that one thing, that is all we can zone in on. And a lot of us, it's human nature. Tunnel vision can be, 5-second rule. I love the 5-second rule because it's like, is this going to really matter in like 5 years from now? No, then why do we put so much focus? And I have a really cool trick that I'm going to show you guys in a second. I'm just going to put that as a note. I did a little bit of Instagram stories on that this weekend. But basically, 80% of our thoughts are negative. 95% of those thoughts are reoccurring. And I'm going to tell you straight up, many of us are way too hard on ourselves. So, meaning, we are going back on decisions that we wish we could have changed. So I'm going to tell you right now, the number one reason that we struggle and we suffer is because we cannot adapt. We're not adaptable. We're stuck on how we want things to be permanent, and life equals impermanence, meaning things are constantly changing. You will have friendships that will no longer exist. You might lose a job. People we love pass away. So we suffer and we struggle because we don't want to happen what just happened. So we can't grasp it. We're trying to change what's already happened. We put all that energy and focus, and that, to me, those kinds of thoughts keep us powerless because we can't go back in time. This is not back to the, when they do Back to the Future, you program your thing, you can go all over. We don't have that. And a lot of times when we're anxious and we suffer with anxiety, it's because we're trying to control outcomes that haven't even happened yet. So it's that fear. So basically, there's two options that you can choose. You can choose to live in fear, or you can choose to live in love. So I choose to live in love. Now, I don't always choose to live in love. Like I said, I am not positive 100% of the time, but I can get there quicker. I can, in that moment, be like, what do I have control over? What do I choose for myself, right? So mindset is about empowerment. I'm all about empowerment. Empowerment empowerment is being responsible for yourself. That is true empowerment. And the more you keep showing up for yourself, the more confidence you're going to build. And the more you give permission to those around you to be like, wow, I didn't know I could do that. I didn't know that I could stand up for myself in that way. I didn't know that we were allowed to do that. You get to challenge like the status quo, and that is what I want with this community. So I want you to know, anything that you think in your head, don't believe it right away. Because right off the bat, 80% of it is negative. So if you get a thought, right away, pause and breathe and ask yourself, do I really believe this? Or is this a narrative that I've always just gone along with because that's how things have always been? Do you know what I mean? Give me some thumbs up. Tell me if you're feeling this. Like, have you ever had a thought that kind of made you feel stuck? And you're like, man, and then you keep replaying it on the loop. Or you've taken a decision that you're like, you regret the decision. Who here has ever had a decision that they really regretted? We all have. Now, the difference that I want to give you right now is permission to let that go. Why? I don't believe in mistakes. Trust me. If you knew me from like 5 years ago, you would know how hard I was on myself. Now, I'm not saying that I'm not as hard on myself, but I'm working through that mess. I'm here for the messy. I'm unpacking stories that don't serve me anymore. But I used to be so dang hard on myself and beat myself up over decisions that I made. And I'm like, man, I didn't even want to do the thing. But what that thought does is it keeps me paralyzed. It keeps me suffering and struggling because it's already happened. So the way I choose now to see it is there really aren't any mistakes. Like nothing really is permanent except for death, right? So when we make a decision, basically, we're doing a decision based on what we think we want right now. So you can't really turn around and say, that's not what I want anymore, right? And beat yourself up. What you can do is say, you know what? I did the thing. I made that decision. I'm not really in agreement with it anymore. And I'm going to pivot and I'm going to go over here. Boom. Which one keeps you more in your power? Right? So if you are right now struggling with a decision that you've made and you're like, man, I'm beating myself up. It's on a loop in my head. I want you to give yourself permission. I'm giving you permission right now to pause, take a deep breath and tell yourself, hey, Brenda, hey, Melanie and Sierra's here. Yeah, ladies. I want you to tell yourself, listen, I made the decision I did at the time that I did with the information that I had. And sure, things may have presented themselves differently. I have more tools. I have more knowledge about that decision that I made. But I don't have to be a prisoner to it anymore. I can pivot. So it doesn't have to be a mistake. To me, mistakes keep you powerless. And instead, we're here for the lessons, aren't we? We're here to soak up as much as we can and go. That is what living full out means. Sure, we're going to do things and we're going to be like, maybe that wasn't really in my best, intention, or maybe I wasn't coming from my best self. But give yourself permission to be human. We are not perfect. I'm just reading with Elila. Hey, Elila girl. Yes. So true. So true. I'm going to see if I can see. Yes. And our subconscious thoughts is actually what drives us. Our subconscious mind drives us. So we do things that we don't even know why we do. That's all based on beliefs that we have, narratives that we have that no longer serve us. So I just want you right now to choose. Can I live in fear? Can I live in love? If you're stuck replaying stories, narratives, decisions that you're claiming to be mistakes, I want you right now to tell yourself it is not a mistake. I did what I did. Now go take that power back and find out what positives you learned from that situation or that decision. Because we're not here to be perfect. We are here to get full on messy, live full out. Just do the thing, gain the experience, and go. If you don't want to do it no more, pivot, change. It's about being adaptable. It's about being flexible. It's about realizing you are worthy right now to take up all the space in your life. Okay? So I wanted to quickly, so I just remembered that I told Caro that I was going to show you guys a quick trick to help you. So she mentioned the 5-second rule, which is amazing. That is just basically asking yourself, will this matter in 5 years from now? If the answer is no, then let it go. Why do we put such negative, why do we waste our precious resources, our energy? There's so many of you on tonight. I'm so happy. Hello, everybody. So I want you to just go there. Ask yourself, is this really going to matter in 5 years? No, then let it go. And I give you permission to let it go. And as a women's coach, I know a lot of us, we are waiting for somebody to tell us that it's okay. I am telling you right now, take up space, girl. Damn it, choose you. You know what I mean? So here we go. I want you to get a pen and a paper, or do it on your phone if you're able to. If you're watching me, just write this down. What you're going to do to put things into perspective is you're going to write 80, okay? You're going to take 80, and then you're going to subtract your age. So how old are you right now? 80 minus your age, and then you're going to multiply times 365. That will give you a number. That number is the amount of days you have left if you are lucky enough, because growing old is a gift, if you are lucky enough to live to 80. I want you to screenshot those amount of days that you have left. You are going to go to Feed That Glow page. You're going to share it, or you're going to share it on this in the comments. I want to see how many days you have left and what are you going to do with those days. So your options are live in fear or live in love. So you can live in fear and berate yourself and get stuck in the negative stuff, or you can say, no, I'm going to go over here. I want you to understand, when I started this whole live, the question was, Crystal, why are you so positive? No, I'm not always positive, but I can get back fast. to positive. So if I fall in a slump, and if you are any, like I have some close girls up on this video right now, you know how hard I can be on myself. If you knew me from 5 years ago, you understand, and you're probably like, who the hell is this girl? She wasn't even like that then. Listen, that's mindset work. I have done, and I'm going to continue to grow and to learn, because isn't that not the purpose of life? Grab the lessons, learn what we want, discard the rest, go. To me, that's what it's about. It's about choosing to learn, choosing to share. This is why I have you ladies, and choosing to love. So just keep that. So I really want you ladies to share with me. Yes, so Joanne just put up her numbers. See, like this is all we've got. This is all we've got. I'm going to give you ladies some practical tools right now. So as you're sharing your numbers, this is fabulous. As you're sharing your numbers, listen, when life is happening to you, I'm going to give you 5 practical tools that you can apply and practice, or take what you want, make your own. This is all what it's about. So tool number 1, if ever you get stuck in something, you're living life. Life is you're in the messy. Let's call it the messy. You're in the messy. Tool number 1 I want to give you is to breathe. I need you to breathe. Why? Many of us are not breathing properly, okay? We are chest breathers. We're not breathing from the bellies, okay? So I need you, and it's going to be a little bit difficult to show you. I'm going to probably do a YouTube video for that, but what I want you to do is to put a hand on your chest and a hand on your belly, okay? And this works really, really well. Thank you, Carol, for sharing your days. Yes, we don't have very many left, right? I mean, we have a lot. We have a lot of years left, days left, if we choose to enrich, like take them fully, live full out, right? But they can be wasted on things that don't matter. So what I want you to do is you're going to put a hand on your chest, a hand on your belly. And sometimes this works really, really well if you're laying flat. So if you're listening to me right now, it might be a little bit awkward unless you position or just put it down and try. And what you're going to do is I want you to just for a few seconds see, where are you breathing from? Is it mostly from your chest? What numbers? Hey, Amelie. Okay, so numbers. So I'm giving perspective. So you're going to take 80, you're going to subtract your age, and then you're going to multiply that from 365. That is to put into perspective how many days you have left. And then I'm asking everybody to share their days, because we are limited. And this is just to put things more into perspective of the mindset of getting back to positive, choosing love quicker, right? So if you're in the messy and it's stressful, first thing you need to do is breathe. Guaranteed you're not breathing. Guaranteed, especially when you're stressed or you're anxious or you're living with like those negative, depressing thoughts, you're not breathing enough. So hand on your chest, hand on your belly. What you're going to do, if you lay flat, it's even better. And I want you to breathe in fully through your chest. Going to count to 4. So like nice, slow breath. Push it down into your belly. You're going to hold it for 4, and then you're going to release. So basically, I don't know if I can show you actually. Let's see. Let's see if you can see me. So if I had a hand on my belly and I had a hand here up on my chest, the goal would be to push out my air. See? Next, it's pretty hard to see, so let's just do this right on live. Let me get undressed for you ladies. Okay. And this just happened that I'm wearing this belly top. Okay, so hand on your belly, hand on your chest, and the goal is to breathe in. Push your belly out, hold it. 1, 2, 3. Again. Again. So the goal with that is you're going to do that for approximately, I'm going to say at least 3 to 4 times. Really just breathing in, breathing out, breathing in, breathing out. The more you hold it, the better. And instantly, because you're going to be nourishing your body with all this oxygen coming into your organs and everything, whatever state you were in is going to de-escalate. You're not going to feel so worked up. Hey, Amanda, you just missed me take off my shirt on it, Facebook Live. So that is goal number 1, breathe. Breathe, 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 breathe. Because the thing, when stress happens, we're not breathing. and we act like chickens with our head cut off sometimes, and we take decisions that we wish we wouldn't have done, all the things. I just need you to give yourself permission to breathe. You do that circuit maybe 3 times, guaranteed you're gonna feel like, okay? Who here was doing that with me? Did you just try that with me? If you just did that breathing exercise with me, give me the hands up. I know you missed it, Amanda. You missed it, girl. Who here just did the breathing exercise? If you did, hands up. Give me the hands up emoji so we see. And that, I know it feels awkward. I mean, I just showed you sticking my belly out on Facebook Live. Who cares? That is what it is. You pop out your belly, you hold it, you release. Again, you release. So it's really about taking the time to breathe. Tool number 2. So if you're feeling like you're stuck in the negative thoughts and you're like, man, I don't know. Thank you. What you're going to do, and I've talked about this before, it's called practical pessimism. All right, Brenda just did this. Awesome. Lila did this. Awesome. So practical pessimism, I've talked about this before. Basically, all you are doing is you're going to write out that fear. You're going to write out those thoughts. And the reason you're doing this is because a lot of times, not a lot of times, fear honestly is worse in our heads than it is in real life. Guaranteed. But I want you to think about something. Have you ever been super excited to do something and you're like, oh my God, I can't wait to go do that thing. You're so excited. Fear feels just like that. Fear is the exact same thing. All right, Joanne just did the breathing. Fear is the exact same thing as excitement. It's unexplored excitement. You're doing something you've never done before. So it is the exact same thing. If you can put it in your mind that right now I'm choosing fear, I'm living in, I'm whatever, I'm stressed, I'm in a negative thought, blah, 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 then just tell yourself, this is just unexplored excitement. And then breathe, right? And if you're going to choose a thought, why not choose something that keeps you in your power? Honestly, it's always worse in our heads. That's why mindset is huge. It's just a game. It's just to play the game. So practical pessimism is if you are afraid to do whatever it is, whatever, your negative thoughts are putting you in, write it out. What is the worst thing that can happen? And then write it out or say it out loud. And then say from there, what is the worst thing that can happen? And keep going, okay? Because your mind, we're good at stories. We are so good at stories. We are meaning-making machines. And we are also able to delete things in our brains all the time. So I want you to just write it out. So you're going to ask yourself, can I figure this out? Probably yeah. Could I figure that out? Probably yeah. Will it feel comfortable? Maybe not. But can you do hard things? Of course you can. I want you to ask yourself right now, on the worst days that you've ever lived, and I can tell you all right now, some of us have had really hard days. Okay, I'm going to say all of us. Did you figure it out? Were you able to come out of that on top? And you think back and you're like, man, how did I even get out of that? It just, you do what you do. So you're going to apply practical pessimism, okay? Tool number 3. I want you, and I kind of talked about it a bit when I was going into the intro, I want you to realize that we choose, okay? Yes, it could be subconscious, but now I want you to bring it to the conscious. We choose how to show up in our lives. So when we're suffering and we are struggling, I'm not at all saying your pain is not valid. Not at all. Not at all. You feel those feels, okay? You need to feel the feels. But I want you to understand that a lot of the times we are doing that based on the fact that we wanted something to be and it's not. So we're so stuck on things being permanent. We are so attached to labels. I say that all the time. We're attached to roles. We're attached to labels. We're attached to whatever it is. We put our self-worth in other things that are outside of our control. Okay? A lot of us do that. And for me, I was doing that. Okay? Because a human, not perfect. And I realized that. So my self-worth was attached to being in a relationship that somebody chose me. But what happens if that relationship goes away? Does that mean that I'm no longer worthy? Or my self-worth was attached to my career. Well, what happens if I lose my job tomorrow? Am I still worthy? These are the questions that I want you to start really unpacking. Because If we are attaching our self-worth to things that are outside of our control, so external things, relationships, money, career, whatever, right? If it's coming from out there, that means it's not coming from in here. That means you will suffer more when life happens. Hey, Megan. Megan's asking what the numbers are for. So the numbers, and I'll get back to this, but the numbers, Megan, are basically for you to put things into perspective. So you're going to take 80, then you're going to subtract your age, then you're going to multiply that by 365. That will give you the amount of days you have left, and that'll help put things in perspective for you to see if whatever it is, the messy, I like to call it the messy, the feels, the negative stuff that is happening in your life, if it's worth putting all your energy in that. So a lot of us are wasting a lot of our days on things that are outside of our control, and this just puts it just flips it to be like, am I really in control of that? No, then I can let that go. And a lot of us are holding on to things that are not ours to carry. So people that we love, they're going through things and we want to fix them, but the thing is people don't want to be fixed. So we need to just show up, be kind, loving, gentle witnesses, hold space for them, and understand that it's not on us to go and do the thing that they need to do. So yes, what I was saying, tool number 3, I hope that made sense. Tool number 3, just write down impermanence. Impermanence, meaning life is impermanence. So things are always moving, flowing like a river. Okay, nothing is stagnant. Everything moves, everything changes as it should. So if you are suffering right now, or you feel like you're going through negative thoughts, you're replaying decisions that you've made in the past, or you're stressing about things in the future with that anxiety, listen, you have to let go of what that is. You have no control. Thank you, Megan, sharing her numbers. Yes, Brenda, those feels. So basically it's that. We have no control. The only thing we do have control of is this. So I gave a seminar this Saturday, a Self-Love Soldier seminar, and with the women I said to them, listen, things can happen to our outer shells, our bodies, whatever. My husband's listening to a really loud movie upstairs. I hope you don't hear that. But nobody has control over my mind. We give that power away all the time, easily. And I'm hoping that if you hang around with me long enough, I will convince you of that you are way more worthy than you even believe yourself to be. And you can't just like start taking your power back. You can't just give this away. That is yours. So you get to choose how you choose to show up in your life. Number 4. So if you are struggling with negative thoughts, and like for those just joining, it was basically that. I had a really good friend say like, are you always positive? And like, why am I so negative? And when I started this whole video, you might want to go back and watch it, but I was saying like 80% of our thoughts are negative. That is just human nature. Our brains are not made to make us happy. 95 of those thoughts are reoccurring. So when we get stuck in a loop, we can get stuck in a loop. So mindset work is hard, but staying in a negative loop is hard too. So you need to choose your hard. So number 4 is to smile. Now listen, I would never just go up to somebody and be like, smile, okay? And this is not about those resting bitch face memes, nothing like that. Listen, your brain cannot tell the difference between fantasy and reality at all. Your physiological self, however, if you force a smile, and sometimes it might be kind of psycho, but if you're in a negative vibe, you're spinning out of control and you're like, oh, instead of letting your physiological self just go with what your head is saying, you can switch the pattern very easily. Smile. Force yourself to smile. It might look crazy. Who cares? You might look a bit psycho. Who cares? The minute you smile, you are having all these chemical releases in your brain, and it's telling your physiological self like, okay, everything's cool. She's happy. She's smiling. There's just a connection there. So I would never just say to somebody who's going through something to be like, just smile. No, this is for you. But you cannot smile and be upset. It just doesn't happen, right? Another thing, if you do that, that will work. Or you can jump up and down. You can move your body in a way, start dancing, start singing. Like, Again, you might look crazy. Sorry, it's so loud upstairs. I really hope that you don't hear this right now. You cannot stay stuck in a negative vibe if you are putting your body through like happy things, right? So dancing, singing, smiling, like automatically within a few seconds, minutes even, like it's going to be done. You're not going to feel so stuck, right? So for myself, I use that trick often when I have to like pick up after my kids after I've asked them 1,000 times to do what they need to do. No, I shouldn't say that. I have good boys, but you know what I mean. Still mom life. Let's be real. I will just, thank you, Mark. Your music upstairs is very loud. Everybody's hearing your awesome speakers. You know, if I have to go on a cleaning spree and I don't feel like doing it, if I blast my tunes, Mark's got good speakers, you all heard, I could start singing from the top of my lungs. I'm a really good singer in my head. Automatically it changes my attitude. It changes the way I decide to show up. So there's that trick. And number five would be this: gratitude. So it is a practice of being in gratitude. So we're going to finish really, really soon because I have to go deliver chocolates. I'm getting some text messages. But number 5, gratitude. I want you to reflect on a time in your life where you felt just so grateful. Okay, we've all had that. Just like when I asked you, when was the time in your life, like we've all been through some crappy stuff, and now you look back and you're like, how did I even get out of there? Same thing, gratitude. Think of a time in your life where you're like, man, I just remember just being so elated, like the joy was bliss, like everything. Go back to that, okay? Feel it in your heart, open your eyes, look at what your situation is, and find one thing to be grateful for, okay? So when we're living in a lot of negative stuff, you know, life is happening, you feel like it's just, you know, like Eeyore's little cloud following you, understand that nobody has power over this. This is yours, right? And again, Mark, shut that off. So you can choose in an instant. And sometimes it's just like, I'm grateful that I'm breathing, or, you know, I'm grateful that there's not a big storm, or like, it doesn't have to be this big grandiose thing. Find one thing to be grateful for and then practice that every day. The more you put yourself in that practice, because gratitude is a practice, then when things do happen, like when life does get messy and you're full on in the mess, you can choose what is the one thing that I'm grateful for. And that is pretty much it. Thank you all for listening. You ladies are fabulous. I think there's some men in here too, so you're awesome too. Keep being awesome. But thank you for sharing those numbers. Very, very good. If you liked what I just shared, share it with your peeps. Because honestly, I think that when we learn new things, and I'm not, you know, sometimes we need to hear things more than once. When you share it, it just creates this feed forward positive cycle. And the reason I did this video basically was to let you know that if ever you are feeling like, man, I'm so negative, and then if you see stuff like, let's see Feed That Glow, you see Feed That Glow and you're like, wow, Crystal, she always looks so happy. Listen, no, I'm human. I'm living the feels with you. I'm feeling the feels with you. It's just how we choose to show up. And again, curated. Social media, it's all smoke and mirrors, okay? So I try to be as transparent and as vulnerable as possible with you all so that you understand that you're not broken. You are absolutely wonderful and glorious as you are, and that what you're living is not your identity and it doesn't have to be your future, okay? So I share my stuff because then I want you to know that it's okay for what you're going through. There's nothing wrong with that. I want you to be able to strip that from it, strip the power from it and take it back for you. So thank you, Brenda shared. So that is pretty much what I had tonight. And yeah, if ever you feel, I guess I could have put a 6th one. If ever you are following people on any kind of social media platform, wherever you decide to hang out, if you ever you feel like you are following pages that don't fill you up, my biggest thing is unfollow. Because I want you to walk away feeling in your power. I want you to know, like, if you hang out and follow certain places, certain pages, you're like, man, I feel good. That's the feeling I want you to have. I would never want you to just keep people on your page just because, you know, you think that that's how it's got to be. No. And sometimes when it comes with family and friends or whatever, extended family, listen, you could just hide things, you know, keep what you have, what you consume. So, and I'm not just talking about food, what you consume, reading, what you watch, what you listen to, all the things, they all affect the mindset. I know, Rosie, it puts things into perspective. So, and yes, Brenda, keep doing that. I do that too from time to time. And I even have pages that I follow that I think motivate me. And then if I walk away and I start to question, like, do they really motivate me? Because sometimes I question if I'm not doing it good enough. I say goodbye to those too. So it's about coming fully in our own understanding that we already are worthy. There's no prerequisite. So basically, I think I covered a little bit of that. That's all I got. I'm going to attempt to do this on every Monday, Master Your Mindset Mondays, and share the love. So have a good night. I got to go deliver chocolates. They're good. Peace, love.